Coach Jet here, and we are about to get straight into it. Before we get into it, though, I have a free editing training that I want you to watch immediately after you finish this video. It's free. I made it just for you because editing is very important, and that is what really defines your unique style and your brand as a photographer. So you need to make sure that you click the link in my description and download the free editing training. It's free. It is free. And I left you a practice file to follow along with me so that you can see exactly how I did it and also compare the steps I took to the steps that you are taking as you follow me. So I'm gonna get straight into it. We getting into it today, a full portrait retouch. And the first thing I like to do is hit Command J on my keyboard or Control J. I'm working from a Mac to duplicate the layer, never work on a background layer. And what I'm doing right here is I'm gonna zoom out as best as I can, maybe about right here. And I just want to remove blemishes based on what I see, because this is how people will see it on Instagram. So I never like to edit super close because people don't see that. And I also like to edit, to retain as much texture and make my mommies look as nice as possible. So what I do is I bag up mainly, and I remove all the blemishes that are visible that you will see if you bag up. Like, you're going to see it like this as well. So what I do, I just go in and move all the blemishes that are popping at me. Anything that's popping at you that you like, man, I see this popping at me, you want to go ahead and remove that. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just anything I see that may be popping at me right here, like this is popping at me. The next thing you want to do immediately after you finish that, you want to go ahead and you want to look for any other spots on her or whoever you retouching. So like right here, I want to get this hair off her chest. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. Then as you see, I'm using the spot healing brush, which is right here on this side, to remove things. This is all computer generated. So I'm using a spot healing brush to remove stuff. And what I'm gonna keep doing is just going to increments. I'm never gonna go the whole way, all the way across stuff, because it's gonna mess it up. All right. So I just want to go in increments of whatever I'm doing. Boom, 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 boom. I look on her belly, anything that may be distracting. So when you're removing blemishes, right, the first step is you want to just remove anything that may distract the viewer. So I removed all of those things right there. Boom. Now the next thing that I do when I'm retouching the image is I go ahead and I run my micro dodge and burn action. And I like to create a black and white layer so I can see the difference in the shadows and highlights, because when you dodge and burn, you are moving shadows and highlights. So what I do is I go to right here and I go to hue and saturation, bring it all the way to the top above everything. I take it and I decrease the saturation so I can see, right? And then I go back and I start dodging and burning. So when you dodging and burning, you basically playing around with the shadows and the highlights, right? When you frequency separation or you median separation, you are playing around with the colors. So I want to dodge and burn all my highlights and shadows so that they won't get mixed when I do the colors. So right now, I got a soft brush right here. Make sure you have a soft brush, soft round brush. My opacity is always going to be 100, but my flow is going to be 1. If your flow is not 1, it's going to destroy the image. I'm going to show you an example. And make sure your brush is white because you're working on the black layer. So it's going to destroy it. So when I take this off and you see it, it's going to make it like that, right? So what we need to do is we want to make our flow 1%. And then we want to look for dark spots that are invading on bright spots, and the vice versa. So for example, you with dodging and burning, you want to make things as seamless as possible. So the transitions as seamless as possible, and your eye will become better. So if you see it's a dark spot right here, it's a dark spot up here, is light, highlight, shadow, highlight. We need to blend that in and make that look better. So what I'm going to do is take my dodge. I'm on my dodge layer, and I'm just going to slowly, paint in the spots that don't blend in together. Paint. You see I'm painting right here where I just talked about earlier. I'm painting up in here. All I'm doing is trying to make the highlights and the shadows transition more seamlessly and easy together, right? So what I'm doing taking that, smoothing it, taking that, smoothing it all together, making it blend better. And then I can take my burn and I can do the same thing when it's a light shadow. I mean, when it's a highlight right here that's popping on two shadow sides, I can just blend that in, because the whole goal is to make things transition, the transition between the highlights and the darks and the shadows transition, right? So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just ensuring that the highlights and the shadows transition better, right? So come down here. Same thing, we got the nose right up in here. Make that transition better. And same, just a spot right here. I'm just going to dodge that. Yep. That, see, as you see, it's a big dark spot. So what I need to come back and do is redodge that. And you have to be real steady. That's why I suggest everyone should get an editing tablet. Everyone should get an editing tablet, right? So you can make all of this easier, because you can, the first level is use your trackpad, of course. The second level is you use your mouse, use a mouse. That was my second level. And the third level is when you update to a editing tablet. And then the fourth level, right? The fourth level, and I'm just gonna be honest, when you get the editing tablet that has the screen on, that you're editing on the tablet, like it's the actual screen on the tablet, that's when you know, like, you made it when it comes to retouching. So as you see right now, I'm just taking my time, going back and forth, making things more transition more seamlessly, nice and easy. You know, remember, this is destructive. See before and after. Look how the transitions and everything. All right, before and after. Making sure this happened. Once again, like I said, I have a free editing training in the description below. It's literally going to say free editing training. I want you to go check it out. Get you some practice. And I also left you a practice file that you can use while you follow along with me. So go download that free training. You know, it's my resource to you. It's my free gift to you, so that you are able to download the free training, right? Right. So as you see, like I said, I'm just making everything seamless. Seamless. You know, making my brush the same size as the highlights and shadows. Coming in here, I see some stuff that's really bigger, and this is gonna right here is gonna make, when I do show you guys my skin retouching method, it's gonna make this like way better, right? So again, I'm just going in, making everything transition more smoothly. Making everything transition more smoothly. Boom, boom, boom. Right there. Yep, boom. Come to the belly. It's not really many darker. It's not really many inconsistencies, but we can clean it up. All right, so make my brush bigger, and I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna make all this better. Make the transition better. Like right in here, make these transitions better. As you see, I'm just going around, making everything look better. Now let me zoom out and show you guys how that looks so far. And then once we put the medium skin retouching on it, look at that. Way better. That's just all micro dodge and burn. If I wanted to, I could be done right now. Look at the difference. I could be done right now. Her skin looks beautiful. I could be done right now, but we always got to have that extra polish on there. So since I'm done with that layer, I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And I'm going to go ahead and make a duplicate layer out of all these layers, which is Shift Option Command E, or Shift Alternate Control E if you're on a Windows computer. Like I said, I'm on a MacBook. Now I'm going to duplicate this layer, and make sure you pay attention. I'm going to turn off this layer, go down to layer 2, All right. I'm going to go to noise median. Right. This is the method I use. I don't do Gauge and blur. And then you want to take these pixels all the way until you see that the texture is gone. All right. So the texture is gone right here. Each image is going to vary, so don't rely on my pixel radius. It depends on what type of camera you shooting on and, what are you doing. And you want to come here, turn the layer on that's on top, go to image, apply image, all right? Your layer should be whatever layer's below. You want to make your blending mode, subtract. It should look like this. Your opacity is 100. Your scale is 2. Your offset is 128. And you want to go down and change your blending mode to linear light, right? You want to go back to the layer below. You want to use the mixer brush, right? The mixer brush is right here. Copy these settings down. Wet 30, low 30, mix 100, flow 20, right? Copy these settings down. And what you want to do is, a lot of people make mistakes and they edit by just doing like this, right? They just go and they just get the brush and everything along, right? Just brush. But as you see, like I told you in the beginning, that plays with colors, and this also makes your client look fake. So what you want to do is you want to come and you want to blend between the shadows and the highlights. So what does that look like? I make my brush about the same size, and all I'm doing is coming in and blending in between the shadows and the highlights, right? Just blending them back, just a little bit on that one. Remember, it is destructive. All of this is destructive, so just be careful. But I'm blending in between the shadows and the highlights. Same thing here. Blending between the shadows and the highlights, making everything look good. Blending between the shadows and the highlights. You want to make all of these things transition smoothly. That's the whole goal, is to make everything transition smoothly. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm making sure that I'm going the way of the face structure, and I'm ensuring that I am editing between the transitions of the shadows and the highlights. That's what I'm doing. Boom. That's her face right there. And remember, everything does not have to be edited. So everything does not have to be edited. Same thing on the belly. Coming in, I'm going the way of the belly. The belly is rounds like that. It rounds like that. So I'm going to go ahead and go the way of the belly, just like that. Boom. I'm going to hit this leg right here just to blend this in more. And I'm going to come on the arm. Never do any retouching method on the tattoos. That's my suggestion. I would opt towards just doing straight dodging and burning. If you had tattoos, that's my honest suggestion. And boom, she is looking good. Let's blend all this together. So that's 2. We're going to call this skin retouching. And then we're going to call this one micro dodging and burn. So let's take off the skin retouching. And let's take off the micro dodge and burn. And let's take off rule of blemishes. So blemishes, micro dodge and burn, skin retouching. Look at that, y'all. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Blemishes, micro dodge and burn, skin retouching. All right, cool. So now the next thing that we want to do is I want to create another layer, right, out of all the layers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace her belly button with just this line. So how I do that is I come over here and I am going to take this, just kind of make it the size of the belly button. Boom, I'm going to hit Command C or Control C and then Command V, duplicate it. And I'm going to move it over it, right? Going to move it over it. Hit the plus button. Merge that down. So merge down. And then what I'm going to do is take my patch tool and I am going to patch around the lines as best as I can. Yep, just like that. Best as I can. And then what I'm going to do is take my clone stamp tool. I'm gonna bring my opacity down just a little bit. And I am going to sample from a different area to make everything blend in. All right. We didn't just do all that editing for nothing, right? Bag it up. Boom, new belly button. New belly button. So my mommy is satisfied. We're gonna name that one belly button. Then I'm gonna make another layer. What I wanna do is make another layer, and I need to remove all this excess around her hair. So with that being said, I'm gonna take my pen tool and I am going to raise my opacity again. And I am going to sample from the area that it's around. And I am going to get all these excess flyaways from her hair, which I'm doing now. So I'm just taking, sampling from another area, taking, sampling from another area, taking, sampling from another area, sampling from another area. That's all I'm doing. We kind of want it to look realistic. All right, so I'm gonna keep this right here. I just wanted to get rid of those extra flyaways, and then I'm not gonna worry about in here because it's more blurred out. And I think actually I am gonna take away this right here. So let's go ahead and take this away. Yeah, take this away. Zoom, get up in here. Just sampling around the area. Boom. Look at that. Big difference. We're gonna call that one hair. Rename that one to hair. And then now we're gonna get to my favorite parts, right? So this is where I use all my actions. We're gonna run lip pop. We need to whiten her eyes. We need to whiten her teeth. We need to make her skin glow. We need to make her skin glow. We need to make her hair pop, and we want to enhance her eyebrows. So first thing we want to do, let's go teeth whitening. So this is an action I made so I can save time when editing. So we just go to teeth whitening. Make sure I'm using a white brush. Come in right here. And I'm just going to paint over. Just painting over. The action is going to do all the work for me. So all I got to do is paint over. And sometimes when people teeth be looking too white, I turn the opacity down, like too white to where it's fake. So I would consider this like enhancements, right? Boom, boom. Let's go to the eyes. Same thing with the eyes. I made the action, so the action is going to do all the work for me. And I come in her eyes, and I'm just going to paint. It's going to do the work for me. Make the eyes whiter. And then we're going to go to, since we up close, let's go ahead and do the eyebrow and lash enhancer. Same thing here, but I'm going to make my opacity about 65. 64 is fine. 65. I'm just going to paint in. Boom. Then we're going to make the lips pop. So with the lip pop, what I like to do is I like to use my action once again. Look at that. Lip pop. Eye whitening is done. Then we're going to do hair pop. So we're just going to highlights of the hair. Boom. See highlight there. See highlight there. Highlight there. Highlight there. Highlight there. And then lastly, what I like to do is run my skin glow action. So all I'm going to do is make my brush the same spot as her highlights. And just go down all of her highlights. Her cheeks will be glowing. Her chin. You can put one right here, just right in the middle. One on the belly. And one down the arm. Boom. Look at that. And lastly, she got some jewelry, so I'm gonna make a jewelry one. So I'm gonna go to curves. I'm gonna name this jewelry. I'm gonna name that jewelry. I'm gonna invert it. Actually, I need to see what it looked like first. So jewelry, I'm clicking the middle as always. Like right up there, that's cool. We're gonna invert this. Invert that. I'm gonna come to the jewelry she got. And I'm just going to come on and paint over the jewelry that she brought to me. You got her ring, nose. Boom. Jewelry. Just make the jewelry pop too. This girl is popping. And I see some blemishes I want to remove. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go on this hair layer. And that look, y'all, that's me zooming up close. Me zooming up close. I'm gonna go ahead and remove some more of these blemishes a little bit. Just a conscious thing. Move some of these blemishes. Boom, 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 boom. Little blemishes that I see. And now we're going to put all those in a folder. I feel like I could put the hair one in the folder too, y'all. What y'all think? We're going to call this enhancements. Now let's put all this together, right? Turn all these off. So first up, we got blemish removal, dodge and burn, skin retouching, belly button, enhancements. Oh my gosh. Blemish removal, micro dodge and burn, skin retouching, belly button, enhancements. The enhancements make a big difference. A really big difference. Now, make a duplicate layer out of all of those. And I need to clean this up right here. I don't know what this is. So I'm gonna take my lasso tool. I'm gonna draw around all of this. We're gonna trying to see what continent where it do for us today. Okay, it covered it up. Cool. Let's go ahead and apply that. Command D. I'm gonna come in right here, my clone stamp. I'm just filling this little area. That's right here. Boom. Boom. This is beautiful. This is beautiful, y'all. And I think the last thing I'm gonna do is just I want to take the reflector out, but I want to keep her hands in. All right, so we're going to see what this resizing tool do. Content aware for this do. See what it do, see if it make it happen. Sometimes it just don't work how you want it to work, y'all. So we're going to have to bag that back. Bag that back, and we're going to have to go to, man. Actually, yeah, let's resize it. Let's resize it, y'all. Let's see what happened when we resize it. I want to go 1350. That's what Instagram is by 1080. I want to be able to keep everything in here, but nope. Let's just keep the quality, right? And this is what is going to be posted on IG, just like this. And let's see how that will look. Okay, I don't think that's bad. It actually looks really good. I don't really need to have her whole hand in there. It would be great too, but I don't think I need to. Plus, the way I shot this is a little different. So, okay, let's go ahead and save this. And let's take it to get it color graded. So I'm just gonna save this. Let's call this T2. It's a JPEG file. Guess I already got one like that. So T3 JPEG file. It's saving. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my Lightroom right here. Lightroom CC, make this really, really easy. I'm gonna go to File, Add Photos. Go to exactly where I got that photo at, T3. And we're going to color grade. So I think the exposure is cool, but I'm going to bump the exposure up just a little more, make her pop. I like my photos more contrasty, so we're going to go ahead and make the contrast 25. 25, bring the highlights down. 15, bump those shadows up just a little bit. Keep the whites where they are. The temperature, I want it to be more on the cooler side because I'm about to get in there and mix the colors when I color grade. So I think that's cool right here. Let's go ahead and just pop out her yellows a little more. Saturate these yellows a little more. Yep. Cool. And then we want to come, let's play around. Like, this is the fun part. Playing around to see what you like, how you want your image to look. I want to go on more of the vintage side. So I think about right in here is good, but I don't want it that saturated. So I'm going to bring it down. So I still want to keep her skin tone as best as I can. Let's see, let's actually bag it back. Okay, let's bag it forward. We want to keep that vintagey look, so bring it down. Bringing it down. Let's see, maybe about right here. Let's see, play around, see what I like. Okay. My highlights being a little blue. That's different. Trying to keep that vintagey look. Then my mid-tones. Let's play around with these mid-tones. Mid-tones is going to work her skin. So let's do our best to keep her skin the color that it is. Which would be about, I want to say, right here. Boom. We good, John? We good. I'm gonna lower everything just a little bit so it won't be too much. Lower everything down. Just playing around to see what I like. Okay. So we'll probably keep it about right here. Yeah, we'll probably keep it about right there. Let's come into texture. I'm gonna add a vignette on it, make it look sweet. We want to keep that vintage sunflower look. Add the vignette on it. Let's go ahead and sharpen it by 25. And let's also just boost up the exposure just a little bit more so it pops. Now, my people, we are finished. This image is beautiful. I'm going to send this to her. I'm going to send this to her and be like, just wanted to tease you a little bit. Thank you, people, so much. It's Coach Jet. Make sure you go and download the free editing training, right? Follow along. Practice makes progression. So go and follow along. The free editing training is going to be in the link in the description below. See you next video. Peace.